What can you always assume when buying a used BMW? The turn signal will always be in brand new condition. We all know that BMW drivers are quite particular, to say the least. They are a different breed that hasn't discovered the blinker, but even if they did find it, they would probably not understand it. Why? Why should I use this? People should guess where I'm going. Why? Why? But to every rule, there is an exception, and the exception is that there are a few really good BMW drivers, and those take it to the track. They don't own a 320D with fake quad exhausts and a fake M3 sticker. I'm sorry, I had to bring this up. Please do not do this. Legend says that if you do this, some guy will peel off your stickers with a hammer. But let's get to the M2, one of the most bought M cars in the last decade. Yes, the M was a freaking banger. BMW really struck gold with this one. People loved it so much, maybe because it was an absolute blast to drive, or maybe because it was a tire shredding monster. People really loved the price tag too. As the 2 Series replaced the 1 Series coupe and convertible models, the M2 was marketed as the cheapest and most basic M car in the range. The M2 featured a more powerful and responsive turbocharged and special-tuned N55 engine. This 3-liter turbocharged straight-six engine produced 365 big torquey ponies, and it was available with a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. The M2 was even used as a safety car in the MotoGP when launched in 2016, and we all know safety cars are usually really quick. Look at F1 safety cars, the Mercedes-AMG GTR and the Aston Martin Vantage. Also, with the launch of the 2 Series sporty versions, amateur drivers also got a really, really good car. Motorsports is in the long lineage of the M2. I mean, the M literally means motorsport. And as we all know, the BMW history in DTM and GT championships. The M235i Racing is a track version of the 2 Series developed by the BMW Motorsport division and was produced from 2014 to 2018. It was aimed at amateur drivers due to its relatively lower price and addition of driver aids such as anti-lock brakes, traction control, and dynamic stability control. The M235i Racing uses an 8-speed automatic transmission and features a modified version of the N55 engine found in the standard M235i and M2, producing 329 horsepower. The car was used in the BMW M235i Racing Cup, which was part of the VLN Endurance Championship at the Nürburgring. It was also sold to customer teams in other championships such as the 24-Hour Series, Touring Car Endurance Series, and Pirelli World Challenge. A really good option for your Nürburgring track days. And also, if you're looking into adventuring into motorsports, don't get me wrong, you still need a pocket full of cash, but it is cheaper than some other options. And guess what? You don't need to use blinkers on the track. Not that you would care anyway. Do you know what you should care about? Money. And saving as much of it as you possibly can. With Honey, you can do that in places where you already shop. Honey is the best browser extension that saves you money on more than 30,000 websites like Amazon, eBay, Shopify, and many more. Use Honey's automatic coupon code adder and bam, save money. And Honey is free. That's a no-brainer. Link in the description. You see, we give you the best car videos and we also give you tips on how to save money. We love you too. Feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. No pressure. In 2018, we got the BMW M2 Competition, and this more aggressive and faster M2 uses the high-performance S55 engine, which is a variant of the 3-liter twin-turbocharged straight-six engine found in the F80 M3 and the F82 M4. Compared to the standard M2, the S55 engine produces an additional 40 horsepower and 63 pound-per-foot of torque, resulting in 405 horsepower. Basically, an M2 that loves the gym and takes some steroids. Occasionally. The M2 Competition also has a carbon fiber reinforced strut bar that looks super cool when you open the bonnet, and of course, with all that power we need to stop somehow, so BMW added larger disc brakes with a 400mm front disc and a 380mm rear one. And guess what came after this? Of course, an upgrade to the motorsport lineup. As the M235i Racing ended production, the M240i Racing became the new norm from that point forward. With revised spoiler end plates, updated engine software, and an optional newly designed driver's seat and a power bump to 340 horsepower. But it is still that race car we know and love with an FIA-approved full roll cage. Remember, buy this one. You don't pay for blinkers in the racing version. Or just buy a twin eBay Turbo Honda Civic. You can only go straight in those, so no blinkers needed either, and it is way cheaper than any M car. Now, we get on to arguably one of the best cars ever made, the BMW M2 CS. A track-focused version of the BMW M2 was unveiled in late 2019. Production began in 2020 and only 2,200 units were produced. This car will become a true collector car. Such a good piece of machinery with such a low production volume. Guys, hear me out. Let's all buy these cars, then we have the monopoly and we could sell all of them for $250,000 each. Sound good? Sounds good. Or, in my case, probably wreck it into a tree, but oh, that's life. The M2 CS uses the same engine as the F82 M4 with competition package, a more powerful version of the S55, which is rated at 440 horsepower and 406 pound-per-foot of torque. The 0 to 62 mile an hour acceleration time is 4 seconds for 6-speed manual transmission models and 3.8 seconds for models with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. An M2 with a sub-4 second 0 to 60. I love this car. The rotors and calipers are carried over from the M2 Competition, but ceramic brakes are newly available as an option. That I would choose. The hood, roof, and various aerodynamic parts are made out of carbon fiber composite. The active exhaust system is new as well, and unique wheel designs in high-gloss jet black or matte gold finishes differentiate it from the other M2 models. This is not meant for plebeians. And just like the two other M2s, we also get a racing variant, the BMW M2 CS Racing. The car has many developments that have been inspired by and developed further from its predecessors, the BMW M235i Racing and the BMW M240i Racing, along with its bigger brother race car, the BMW M4 GT4. Powered by the S55 engine, it gets up to 450 horsepower, just 6 more than the street-legal version. Here's the question to ask ourselves. Is the 2023 BMW M2 going to build on the success and the reputation of the outgoing M2 Competition or even the M2 CS? Or is it just going to be an exterior thing, just some flared fenders, the typical M package, and maybe get the big Peppa the Pig nose that is present on the latest M3 and M4 platform? Some people even speculate a centered quad pipe exhaust. For me, that would look extremely ugly. Maybe that's just me, but I don't think BMW would dare such a thing. Even for them, that's too much. The spy shots were a little bit hard to see because, of course, the car was under a camouflage wrap that makes it really difficult to see the outlines. All the vents were in a rectangular shape with a mesh over it. But we can see from the spy shots is that it looks like it's going to have a little bit of a wider track, a little bit longer hood with those wide fenders. Not even in the spy shots we could see if we are going to have the big nose like the big M brothers, but I think it would have the same kidney girls just in a bigger size, just like in the current 2 series. One thing we really know is that it is going to stay rear-wheel drive. I wouldn't mind a rally version with all-wheel drive, but it's just me. I'm a real fanboy. The interior is going to be the same as the new M3 and M4 because that's what BMW is doing right now. But in the last version of the M2, you could only choose a couple of options and only in black. But in the spy shots, we could see a tan interior, and this is a synonym of more interior options, more colors, and different materials as well. This is something important because everybody likes to choose different trims and make your car feel more personal. We are expecting a 6-speed manual transmission on the M2, and the M2 Competition will probably only be the ZF8 automatic transmission, but everyone should buy the manual. But you might need a manual to drive it to the limit. Get it? I'm sorry guys, don't roast me in the comments, at least I don't drive an M320D. that's the person you should be roasting. We will probably see the S58 engine that is in the M3, M4, and the M version of the ugliest SUVs I have ever seen, the X3M and XM4. But a detuned version may be producing 450 horsepower because if this gets 473 ponies, it freaking flies. Just imagine such a small and light car and this amount of power, it would be the literal meaning of a pocket rocket. Even Elon Musk would buy one and test its ability to go to Mars. But BMW wouldn't do that because nobody would buy the M4. The M4 would automatically become the big fat uncle you don't really like. It is also possible we get an extreme track version of the M2, kind of like we had with the M4 GTS. But some people didn't really enjoy that car, maybe because it was really expensive. As far as pricing goes, the current M2 in competition form comes in at just under $59,000. My estimation with the next generation M2 competition will be right on the edge of the $60,000 mark. Riding on the same platform, underpinning the Z4 and Supra twins, it is a great platform to build on, and we will only see great things from BMW. I trust them 100%, even though they made the ugliest SUV, the X4. With all the speculation and rumors, one thing is for sure. Even under all the camouflage, the car looks really good. I really love the spy shots in the snow. Even though it's a small car, the M2 has such a presence on the road. I truly enjoyed the shots, and I am looking forward to seeing the launch spec they bring us. Please tell me down below in the comments what you think about these spy shots. What would you like to see in the 2023 BMW M2? Would you like to have an all-wheel drive option, or maybe you'd like to have a full track-ready version like the old BMW M4 GTS? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Love ya. Bye.